Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, Nick Collier here again. We got a new project. And this guy comes in 2 days ago, and he says, I need something done right now. And it's like, okay, let's see what you got. And he's working on a Cummins engine, diesel engine, I assume, and a 1956 truck. And they're almost done, and they ran into a seal or I'm not exactly sure what it is. Then they need a shim cut. So I said, well, let's see what you got. And so he shows me this shim, and it's like, holy shit. I'm going to bring you down closer so you can see it. So he said, Cummins sells the shim, but they only sell it in 7/1000ths of an inch thick. And I need mine to be 5/1000ths. And here's the shim. This one's the old one, it's all boogered up. And he says, so I need to either take 2/1000ths off of this shim or come up with another shim that's going to be 5/1000ths thick. And I'm thinking, whoa, this is quite the project. He says, but I need half a dozen of them. I said, okay, well, that's going to be a little bit better. You'll be able to amortize out the cost. He says, I don't care the cost because this whole project stems on this shim that nobody sells anymore. So we're going to go over and I'm going to explain how we're going to do this. Well, several years ago, my buddy came to my shop. He was working on some invention, and it looked like a really good project. And he purchased this piece of aluminum. And when he left, well, he didn't leave on the best of terms, but when he left this piece of aluminum behind. And really, it is the only thing that I have that's big enough to handle something like this little shim. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 slices off of this piece of aluminum. We're going to flatten the surface, and then we're going to sandwich a bunch of shim stock in between these 2 pieces, and then drill maybe 6 holes, put 6 bolts in on this side of the shim, and put 6 bolts in on the outside of the shim. And is there enough room? Oh God, I hope. Yeah, there's just enough room. And that'll sandwich these pieces in, and then we're going to come in and trepan into and past these 5 or 6 shims that he's going to give me, the customer's going to give me. So we'll get the inside done, and then once the inside's done, we'll come in and, oh no, actually we're going to do the outside first. Then once the outside's done, then we'll grab it once again on the mill and do the inside. So this should be a fun one. Hang in there with me. We're gonna have some fun. First we got to cut the damn thing. All right, so we've got our, hang on a second. We've got our 2 sheets of brass, 5,000 thick, and we're going to place them between these 2 plates that have been machined flat. And now we need to put, I'm thinking 6 bolt holes around the perimeter, or the, not the perimeter, but the inside of the ring, and then machine it back to the shape, the size of the brass. So question is how to do that. So I think the first approach is to get rid of the brass for now, and we need to make these even so we can grab them as one unit. And I think the way to do that is to drill a hole in the center here and drill a hole in the center here, and maybe put a bolt in there so that it holds it steady, and then we can drill the 6 holes to hold the brass in. Sound good? Okay, let's go over to the lathe and do that. Okay, well, you can see my lathe is kicked out and you know, in a funny position because I'm putting a new DRO in, and I couldn't get to the back of the lathe very easily, so I had to move it out, and I needed to rebalance it anyhow, so that was not an issue. But that's what I've had to do, is to rebalance the, or is put the DRO in. I've got half of the DRO in. I've still been using it, and you know, as long as you're not doing any long or very, very tight measurements, everything is very usable. So we're going to come in close and start this process. All right, so let's take our first plate, put it in here, and actually we'll take this one because it's already set up, and tighten it up. Feeling just a little bit of grime on my ways. Okay, that's not better, but it's something. Oh, we got to get a shuck in there. And a bit. There we go. And you saw that that hole is a little wiggly, but it really doesn't matter because I've got to take probably 3/4 of an inch off of this anyhow. So that's a good start there. So that'll be that for the moment. We'll be back. We're going to put it together with a nut and a bolt, and we'll be back. Okay, we've got it bolted and nutted together. We're going to bring this in. We're just going to get these two to match up a little bit better. Oops, that wasn't right. Whoa! Somehow we didn't get that in straight, did we? There it is. Okay, that should do it for the moment. Let's let those cool off a bit. Alright, so now I'm thinking we might be able to just turn this around, take the bolt out, clamp it back to in, and bore our hole, because we need to have a hole bored in the center of this so we can grab it from the inside and press out so we can do the outer part. So let's give that a try. It looks like it's just gonna barely grab it. No, it's missing. No, that's 1/4 inch. No. All right. We're going to use what we got. Let's go over to the mill. We're going to drill our 6 holes and go from there. All right, I got my super spacer set up. Now we just drop this guy in, open it up until we can get to it. Oh, actually, let's do it this way, because we want to find center on that. Okay.
Hi, honey.
Hey, here comes my wife, ha ha, to make me happy. All right, we got everything all set up here, and we're gonna talk to the wife for a minute. Okay, so we're gonna bring this down. Not going to be able to come far though. And that's, I got this new lathe, well not new, but this other lathe over there, and it has one of those extensions on the column. And so this kind of stuff where I need height, I'll just take it over to that mill. Of course it isn't quite running yet, so we're going to be working on that at some point. Right now we're making money. That's close enough. There we go. Zero out that zero out the DRO. Take our bit out. Now we need to come in and figure out where this thing is going to land. Okay, so we're going to come in way wide of that, but that's about where we want to be. Okay, so drill bit back in. Not going to leave a whole lot of room. But just enough. Get this over on 0. Okay. Let's find a drill bit. Okay, so I need some bolts that I can countersink so that I have a nice flat surface to work from. And the only ones I could come up with is these little 1/4 inch ones. So I think what I'm going to do is run 8 rather than 6. And that way I have a little more gripping power, and we'll go from there. Whoops, that one's too short. But I have others. So now we come out and we want to get as close to that as possible without interrupting. I would say somewhere right in there is probably good. Now 8 into 360, what would that be? 360 divided by 8, oops. $45 degrees. That'll be simple. How we doing? I'll get you straightened out there a little bit. All right. It might might be a bit close because I'm going to come in with a mill bit and come down on that. So I think what might be a good idea at this point is to go ahead and rotate this a little bit and do it again. Bring it in just a little bit closer. Okay, so we've got that. Now we need to go in. I'm thinking we can just go in and let's just take this top plate off and tap those holes. Okay. 3/4 wrench. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is just take this over to the drill press and drill these out to 1/4, and then come in and countersink those. So there we go. All right, let's just free drill some holes here. And now we kind of need to come in and countersink. Should do the trick. All right, let's take it back and see what we can come up with. Okay, we got a bunch of burrs on this side, so we're having to kind of fight those back to 0. Okay, I think we got something. Now, we've got to come in. I'm going to spin you around here. We got to come in and deal with these burrs here. And they're not too bad. Not too bad.